Good morning. Welcome. Monday morning. Ready for some yoga. Today's class is called Gentle Flow Deep Release. I want to take it quite easy and do some deep stretches in the end. I have a bit of sciatic nerve pain, so the nerve connecting the lower back all the way around the leg, and it's probably just from uh, I'm not sure actually. I get it sometimes when I'm a bit inactive, when I sit a lot, and I've been sitting a lot on the computer. So I will do a few cross-legged things for that. I want to do deep stretching of the hips and shoulders, hamstrings. So we will do a very easy gentle flows in the beginning, or actually we'll start with a bit of very simple stuff to get the fluids moving in the body. um, yeah, and then do a bit of a gentle flow, very soft for the beginning of the week, and then do some deep stretches. Yeah, I'm on day 6 of a parasite cleanse, which was my partner Adi's idea. um, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And actually, it's been quite intense the past few days. I've been really tired, and my all my joints have been super achy, and I was a bit like, what's happening? Why am I feeling like this? And then suddenly he was like, oh, it's all your parasites dying. Look it up. And I went on Google and looked it up, and apparently, when you clean out the intestines, and it's a tincture that we're drinking, so it's like a black walnut, um, clove, essence of clove, and something else. Apparently, when you take it, if you have parasites, they die, and um, they then release these toxic gases or something, and apparently it can make you super tired and super weird in your body. So I guess that's what's happening. Uh, just a bit of background on why I thought to take it quite easy today, to start the week very easily. I hope you're all doing great. It's the 1st of June. Time is going super fast. So yeah, I would say let's start. Blocks, handy, always handy. We will use them today. One or two blocks if you have them. If not, some thick, fat books nearby would be good, not next to your mat. Also, a strap we're going to use. So if you have a yoga strap, that's perfect. If not, you can use a belt or even a tie, an old tie. Um, yeah, we'll just use the strap to help stretch the hamstrings out. Can be really handy to release the shoulders while we stretch. All right, so let's get going. Just do one thing. So come to your mat, and actually we'll start lying on our back. And what you can do is fold your mat in half so that hopefully you have a slidey floor, because we're going to do a bit of sliding with the feet on the floor. So I'm still wearing socks so that I can slide a bit. So start lying flat on your back, just for a moment to arrive here. You can close your eyes, sink down to the floor, let your body melt, arriving here in this space, in this body. Leaving anything you're worried about or even you're excited about, anything you're thinking about a lot, leave it outside this room. And for the rest of the class, just focusing on your body and your breath, on being present. Let's take a few deep breaths and let them out with a sigh. Filling the lungs fully, fully, fully up. And then sighing out your whole breath, emptying out the lungs. And start walking your feet closer to you, very, very easily. Bring them up. So your legs can be a little bit bent, your feet can hang a bit floppy. See how much relaxation you can find. So using minimum effort to keep your legs up here. See how relaxed you can get them. And then start to circle your ankles. Doesn't matter which direction, or change direction. Just simple circles, nothing too strenuous. Your toes can be relaxed, just circling the ankles and then changing direction. Changing direction again. And one more time. And shake out your legs a little bit, very gently. Now we're gonna do a very quick small movement with the feet. So you can envision that you're doing the alphabet with your feet. They can be it doesn't have to make sense, this alphabet. It doesn't have to be parallel. It's just about making small, kind of random movements with your feet. So see if you can get through the whole alphabet. G. Small movements. And if your feet start to get a bit tired, that's a good sign. Once you've done the whole alphabet, start wriggling your toes, wriggle, wriggle, wriggle. And if you're at the point where your feet are starting to move a bit slower because they're getting tired, this is a good sign. What we're trying to do here, we're keeping the feet up so that the heart has to pump extra hard. The heart has to work hard to get the blood pumped into the feet. Shake out your legs. And as the heart is pumping blood into the feet, this activates the synovial fluid in the hip joints, and the knee joints, and the ankle joints. Synovial fluid is like the motor oil, it's like the lubrication for the joints. So keep shaking out your legs. Take a few more moments to let the heart work to pump blood to the feet. And then drop your feet, drop your legs down. Feel the blood flowing now normally again into the feet. So we kept them up all this time so that we really encourage the heart to pump blood there. Now take your right leg and just start to circle your foot on the floor. So your knee is going out and then in, and the foot is making an anti-clockwise circle on the floor, as big as possible. And then change direction. So now your foot is making a clockwise circle. Releasing your hip down as the knee falls out. See if you can keep the hip flexor muscle as soft as possible. And changing sides. Left foot turning clockwise on the floor. So the synovial fluid in the joints has started running, and now we're using that to loosen up the hip joints. Reversing the circle of the foot. The left foot circling anti-clockwise now. And let it go. Now circling both your feet. So your knees are going out and in, and your feet are coming in and out. Feet coming towards the sit bones and circling outwards and dropping back down. And then reversing those circles. Gently let it go. Take a moment to feel any differences in the hip joints, knee joints, ankle joints. And bend your right knee. Grab it with both hands and super gently pull it towards the chest, but take it super easy here. Any pain, just right away back off. We're taking a very gentle approach today. Just resting the weight of your hands on top of your knee. Letting that knee very slowly inch closer to the chest. You can move it a little bit side to side, super gentle. If you feel a bit of pinching on the inside, it's very normal. Just don't press into it. Release the pressure of the hands there. Moving the knee a little bit side to side. Releasing your shoulders into the floor. And then let it go. Drop your leg down. Bend the left knee. Use your both hands to pull it towards the chest. See if there's anything more you can release in the hip joint. And let the knee fall towards you. Let the shoulder blades be soft on the floor. And then very easily, gently moving your knee side to side. Drop the leg down. Deep breath here. And then rolling to one of your sides, very lazy, very easy. Push yourself to sitting. And come to sitting in a little ball. You can unfold your mat again. So your feet hip width distance, dropping your head down. Breathing into the space between the shoulder blades, releasing the top of the head, releasing the tailbone. Very simple, very gentle. Softening your gaze. Releasing the inner thighs, the knees can lean against the inner arms. And then slide your arms inside your knees. Let your knees gently open a little bit. Just let them fall to wherever they want to fall. Drop your elbows down towards the floor. Release the back of your neck, top of your head, tailbone. Pouring the weight out of your elbows. And gently closing your knees. Sit on top of your heels. So bring your knees down to the floor. Use your fingers to point all your little toes forward. Sit your hips down on top of the back of your heels. Stretching open the bases of the toes. Super gentle here. You can shift the weight a little bit side to side. If it's very intense, you can lean a bit forward and take weight into your fingertips. Seeing if you can soften the hip flexor muscles here. And if it feels good to you, you can move your hands back, just behind your hips, opening the chest up to the ceiling. Still opening the bases of the feet. You can drop your head if it's okay for your neck. Gently coming back up. Untuck your toes, sitting on your knees with flat toes. Put some weight into the tops of your hips with your hands. So just put the heels of your hands into the creases of your legs. Lean a bit forward and press down. Using the weight to relax your shoulders. Softening the fronts of the hips. If it feels good, you can really dig your thumbs here on the insides of your hip flexor muscles, right inside. There's a gap. You can really, when you tilt your pelvis forward, stick your thumb in there, really releasing those deep muscles. Tiny moment of self-massage, really doing whatever feels right to you. You can walk your hands all the way down the leg. And then on the right side, take your knuckles of your hand and just rub out the side of the leg. So moving from the side of the hip all the way down to the knee. And if you have a bit of soreness there, this can cause sciatic pain if the IT band here is a bit stressed out. It can also cause lower back issues, hip pain. So it's a big stress holder here on the side of the leg. So just take a few moments to rub it out from top to bottom. So rubbing from the hip down to the knee, and if it's painful, it's okay, don't press too hard. Go to the edge of the pain where you can still manage. Let's change sides. And if you have no pain here, if this isn't doing nothing for you, you can take this time to massage your thighs however feels good to you. For me, this is quite sore. And shift the weight. Let's do the same thing, but moving from the outside of the knee all the way down to the ankle. So this line from the hip to the knee, it keeps going down. So from the outside of the knee all the way to the outer ankle, just taking a few moments to rub this out with your knuckles, or if it's too intense with the knuckles, you can use your thumb or your hand palm. Sending any tension down, 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 and out of the leg. Changing sides. So continuing in the same line from the hip to the knee to the ankle. All right. Now let's come to all fours. Very simple. Wrist directly below your shoulders, knees directly below your hips. Fingers very spread. Starting in a neutral spine so the back of your neck is long. The weight is equally divided between the hands and the knees, which might mean it feels like there's more weight in the hands because the hands are less used to having weight in them. We're going to do 5 simple rounds of cat-cow. Breathing in, arching your spine. Breathing out, rounding. Take this in your own time. Softening the chest. Softening the belly. Softening in between the shoulder blades. And coming back to a neutral spine. Tuck your toes under, press your hips and back. And walk your hands forward into an active child's pose. And walk your hands even further forward. Your elbows are off the floor. From there, sinking your shoulders as much as possible down. Opening the fronts of the shoulders underneath the armpits. Soften the back of your neck, soften your jaw. Releasing the tailbone. From there, coming back into all fours, untucking your toes. Lift your right arm up, twist the spine. Then we're going to thread the needle. Right arm comes underneath the left. Pressing into that left hand to twist the spine. From there, rolling the right cheek back down to the floor. Walk your left fingertips up and over your head into the right diagonal corner. Really take the time to walk the hand as far as possible. Maybe your hips come a little bit out of alignment. Once you settle the left hand down into the floor, bring your hips back into alignment. So probably your right hip has to move slightly back to the left. Keeping the hips even. Stretching out underneath the left armpit. You can look up underneath your left armpit, twisting the whole spine. And then release the left hand as well. Slide it back next to your face. And let's start walking the knees backwards. Super gently come to lying on your belly on top of your right arm. You can lay your left arm down on top of the right and just releasing the right shoulder. Super gentle. If it's too much, back off a little bit. If it's too intense, you can use the left hand for support. Releasing the back of the neck. And if you'd like to increase, you can shimmy your hips over to the left. Bend your right knee to the side. Bring the right knee up. Release the weight of the knee, the weight of the leg into the floor. Increasing the stretch on the right shoulder. Keep breathing calmly, softly, deeply. From there, slide the right leg back down if you took it up. Bring the left hand next to your face. Gently push into it to release the right arm. Bringing both your hands underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up onto your knees. Walk yourself back into your all fours. Lifting the left arm up to the ceiling to then thread the needle. Sticking the left arm underneath the right. Take a moment to push down with the right hand, twisting your back. From there, release that. Roll the left cheek back to the floor. Walk the right hand up and over your head into the left diagonal corner. And once you settle the hand palm down, we press it down and then shift your hips back into alignment so your right hip wants to move a little bit back towards the left. Opening the base of your armpit. You can look up underneath your right arm. From there, slide the right hand back next to the face. Start to walk your knees one by one backwards until you come to lying flat on your belly. You can release the right arm on top of the left, relaxing both of your shoulders. Keep breathing softly, deeply. Releasing the back of your neck. If you'd like to increase the stretch, You can shift your weight to the right side. Wriggle your left knee up. And then release the weight of that left leg down into the floor. Keep relaxing your right arm, your right shoulder. Deep stretch for the front of the left shoulder. Releasing that left hip. And gently releasing your left leg back down if it was up. Bring the right hand next to your face. Gently press into it, releasing your left arm that's come into a mini sphinx position here. So your elbows are underneath your shoulders, fingertips spread, pulling from the fingertips so your rib cage moves forward. Really lengthening out of your lower back here, pulling your sternum through the chest. Maybe looking up with the face if it feels okay for your neck. And then gently releasing your back to the floor. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, keep your knees on the floor. Press yourself up. Come back into your little ball, so walking your knees a little bit forward. Rounding your back over your legs. Releasing between the shoulder blades, softening the top of your skull down to the floor. From here, take a bit of weight in the hands. Start to straighten the legs. They don't have to straighten all the way. Drop your head. Really make sure that your neck is completely relaxed. So you're dropping your head down. Your knees are a little bit bent. Gently waking up the hamstrings, waking up the backs of the legs. Shift your weight a little bit back into your heels. See if you can lift the balls of your feet and your toes. Then spreading out through all the toes. Step your toes back one by one with really widespread toes. See if that changes anything to the stretch on the back of your leg. Really releasing the head down. Folding your belly on top of your legs. Really don't worry about straightening the legs. Just release your torso on top of your thighs. From here, bend your legs a little bit deeper. Now take your left foot, step it over the right. So your legs are crossed, the left leg is in front of the right. They're quite close together. You can still have your knees bent. If it's hard to balance here, or if you don't reach the floor with your hands, you can use your blocks. One or two blocks here underneath your hands to make this a little bit easier. And just breathe into this cross-legged, crossed-ankled forward bend. See if you can lean your left leg into the right. So your right leg can fully relax. The left leg is taking the weight of the right. Then very gently stepping the left foot back. Come back to the middle. You can use your blocks also here. You can still have your knees bent. Taking this very easy, very gentle, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing the back of your neck. And then stepping the weight into the left foot. Lift your right leg. Just step your right foot over the left, so you're crossing at the ankles. Same exact thing on the other side now. Releasing the top of your head, your jaw, soft focus. Releasing the belly. And if you want to work towards straightening either or both of your knees, start from straightening the right. Only if this is easy for you. The right leg pushing back into the left. Keep relaxing the shoulders and the neck, the top of your back just hanging down, pouring down. From here, bend your knees, step the right foot back, come back to parallel. Your feet are hips distance apart. Knees a little bit bent, belly soft, and bend your knees even deeper. You can move your blocks away. Bending and really slowly rounding all the way up through the spine. Take it really even slower than normal. Bending your knees deeply, starting to tuck your pelvis under. Then your lower back rounds up. Middle back starts to round up. Shoulders come last, and then the head rolls all the way up. Standing on top of your mat. Weight pouring down out of the feet. Toes are spread. Back of your neck is long. Flip your palms to the front. Open your shoulders. Open your chest, your whole rib cage floating up and away from the hips. Stepping to the front of your mat. Breathing in, lift your arms up overhead. Breathing out, swan diving down with your knees a little bit bent. Breathing in, come halfway up. Breathing out, step yourself with small steps back into plank pose. And walk through your feet for a moment. If the plank is a bit too intense for you right now, just put your knees on the floor. Gently settling into a silent plank. Wrists underneath your shoulders, fingers spread. From here, put your knees down on the floor. Bring your chin and your chest down. Slide your chest forward, come into a little cobra. The same feeling we had before in the Sphinx, where your sternum is moving up and forward through your rib cage. Gently coming back down, tuck your toes back under, keep your knees on the floor, press yourself up, then lengthening the legs into plank, then pushing yourself back into an easy downward dog, walking out the feet. Shifting your hips side to side. Shaking your head no. And then bobbing it yes. And then settle down in your downward dog. Quiet, still, easy pose. You can have your knees a little bit bent. Sticking your sit bones up to the ceiling. Keep your lower ribs in. Drop the back of your head. From here, shift the weight into the left foot. Roll through the right foot. Bring it forward. Take a small step. And walk your hands up your leg. Rounding all the way up. Once you're up, bring both your arms up. Bring your left heel inward and you're turning your left foot a little bit out. Twisting your torso open, right arm forward, left arm back. So your upper body position is like a warrior two, but your legs are smaller. And we're going to very gently bend, lean the right hand either just above the right knee or just below the right knee. Very, very gentle here. Small triangle. Very easy start. From there, look down. Take your arms back up to the sides and bring both your arms up, twisting your hips back forward. Come onto the ball of your left foot and start to bend your right knee down. Bend both knees down. Come to very simple sitting pose. Make sure your right shin bone is 90 degrees and your left thigh is also 90 degrees, so we're having a much smaller step than normal. You can untuck your toes. From here, just start by dropping your head, so you can lean your hands on top of your right knee. Just dropping your head, releasing the back of your neck. Very gentle stretch of the left hip flexor and the back of your neck, rolling up your head. Now pressing your hips a little bit forward to get a bigger stretch here on top of your left thigh. And only if it's really not a deep stretch for you at all, start to inch your right foot forward. Very gently shifting your hips forward. Take it really easy here. If it's hard on your knee, you can fold your mat. So take it really gentle and only go as far as where the edge of your stretch is. And if that means staying upright, that's fine. Walking the right foot even more forward only when you feel the front of the left hip releasing. Very easy, very gentle, very soft today. And release your torso forward, lay it down on top of your right leg, drop your head. Hang here for a moment, releasing between your shoulder blades. Maybe your hips are coming even more down now. Lengthening through your left leg. runner pose. You can shift the weight forward and back a few times, releasing through the front of your left leg. From there, step the right foot back into plank. You can bring your knees down if you like. Bend your elbows. Bring your chin and your chest down, then slide your chest forward, come into a little cobra, untucking your toes. Rolling back down, tuck your toes back under, keep the knees on the floor. Press yourself up, lengthening the knees, then press yourself into an easy downward dog. Tipping your sit bones up to the ceiling. You can have your knees slightly bent here. And shift the weight into the right foot. Roll through the left foot. Step it forward just a little bit, so about a 1 meter step. And start to roll yourself up, and you can walk your hands up the left leg. Rolling yourself all the way up to standing. From there, bring your arms up. Now turn the right foot out. From here, twisting your whole back open to the right, so the left arm comes forward, right arm back. You're in an upper body position of a warrior two with a very small stance. And we're just going to very gently reach forward. Place the hand either just below the knee or just above your knee. Taking a super mini triangle pose here. Very gentle, very easy. Looking up at your right hand, if that feels good to you. From here, look down at your left foot. Bring your arms back up to the sides and then all the way up. Bring your hips even to the front. Come onto the ball of your right foot. And start to bend both your knees all the way down until you place your right knee on the floor. Coming into a parallel position where your left shin is parallel to the floor and your right upper thigh is parallel to the floor. Then you bring both of your hands to your knee to lean yourself on. And drop your head forward. So we're in a very small lunge here. With both legs 90 degrees. Dropping the head, softening between your shoulders. Keeping your hips even. From here, rolling your head back up. Pressing with your right butt muscle so that you're tucking your pelvis a little bit forward, stretching the front of your right thigh. Now, if this is enough, just stay in this position. If you'd like to go deeper, very slowly start to walk, crawl your left foot forward. And bring your hips super gently forward and down. If it's a lot on your knee, the pressure, you can fold your mat underneath your right knee. And really take your time moving into this stretch from above. And only crawling your foot more forward when you feel the right front of the hip releasing. Keep your shoulders soft, your jaw relaxed, the back of your neck long. Deepening this quad stretch by releasing down into it. And then draping your torso over your left leg. Bring your hands to either side of your foot. Drop the head. Stretching out here. Very simple, supported by your left leg. From there, straightening through the right knee. Bring your head back up and start to shift the weight forward and back. Super gently releasing that front of the right thigh. And from there, step the left foot back into your plank. You can come down with your knees on the floor or with straight legs. Coming into a little cobra. From there, if you'd like to continue, you can push up into upward dog. And from there, let's come into a little child's pose. Releasing your arms, releasing your head to the floor. And stay there while I go pee. See if you can soften the fronts of your thighs even more, the fronts of your hips. Uncurling the tailbone. Softening in between the shoulder blades. From there, tucking your toes under, coming into your downward dog. And then start to walk your feet forward one by one, small steps. Hanging over for a moment. Still, you can have your legs bent, draping your torso on top of your thighs. Few deep breaths here. Then bend your knees deeply, rolling up all the way. Slowly coming to your mounted pose, flipping your palms forward. Tall, proud stance. With your palms flipped forward, your chin gently dropped to your chest, very slight, so that the back of your neck lengthens. Your pelvis, long lower back. Pelvis is very gently tucked forward, but very slight. Your knees are not over straightened, but also not bent. Free. From here, step your feet together. Bring both of your arms up. Now swing them down and bring your right arm underneath your left and fold them all the way. So your aim is to get your both hand palms together in front of your face. If you can't get there yet, the backs of your hands can press into each other. And you can also interlace your fingers to help pull your right hand more into the left. Pull your shoulders down. Now take a deep breath in, lift your chest. Sit down in a chair, so you're moving your hips backwards. When you look down, well, you have to shift your elbows out of the way, but when you look down, you can see your whole foot, so your pelvis is moving back behind you. You're not leaning your knees out over your ankles. And lift up only your chest, but keep a deep bend in the legs. And lift your right foot up. Cross it all the way over the left. See if you can hook the right toes all the way behind the ankles. If you're not there yet, just keep the leg as crossed as you can. And sit down a little bit lower, bringing your pelvis more back, so you're arching your lower back actually. Lengthening the back of your neck, opening your chest. Sit down a little bit lower. And gently release. Step your right foot back. Bring your arms back all the way up overhead. You can look up. And then swing your arms back down. This time the left arm comes underneath the right. Twisting your arms all the way into eagle pose. And you can interlace your fingers for a bit more control here to push your shoulders more down. Now bring your whole ribcage up to sit yourself down into the chair. Your hips moving back and away. From here, keep your hips down low. Start lifting your left foot. Wrap it all the way around the right. And see if you can get your big toe on the inside of your right ankle. Deep fold of all of your joints. Ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, elbows, wrists. All compressing so that when we release this pose, fresh oxygenated blood will flow into all the joints. Sit your hips down a little bit more, lifting up your chest. And then gently release. Uncurl your hands, step the left foot back down, bring your arms up. Breathing in and bring your arms down next to your side. Opening the palms. Feel that blood rushing into your wrists, elbows, knees, hips, ankles, shoulders. And let's do this one more time. Breathing in, bring the arms up overhead. Bring out, swing them down and swing the right arm underneath the left as close as possible to your chest. Twisting, twisting, twisting your arms. This time you can keep your hand palms connected. Before you sit down, lengthen up your whole spine. Lift up your rib cage, then stick your butt out backwards. Sit down very low with your hips sticking out back behind you. Then lift the right foot off the floor. Cross it as high as possible over the left leg, then wrap the right toe all the way around to the inside of the left ankle if you can. Sit your pelvis down more, stick your butt out more, and then lift your chest up, pull your elbows down, lengthen the back of your neck. Sit down one more time. Gently releasing, stepping your right leg back. Breathing in, lifting your arms, and then as you breathe out, swing the left arm underneath the right. Bringing your hand palms together if you can. Pull your shoulders down, but lift your chest up. Breathing in, sit your hips down. The weight is on the heels. You can lift all your toes off the floor. That's how far your weight is back. And start lifting your left thigh. Cross it as far as you can on top of the right thigh. And then twist your foot all the way around. Sink your hips further back and down. Lift your chest up. Arching your lower back. Lengthening your back of your neck. Softening the jaw. Sit down a little bit deeper. Compressing all of your major joints. And gently release. Bring the arms up overhead. Breathing out. Bring the arms down. With your palms open. Feeling the blood rushing through all those places we just compressed. Now reach your arms up overhead. Swan dive down. Come halfway up. Step, or you can jump if you feel comfortable, into plank. And your choice, either with your knees down or with your legs long. Chaturanga down, sliding your chest forward, coming into either cobra or up dog. From there, optional extra push-up into downward dog. From here, stepping your left foot more to the center line. So your left foot moves a little bit more in towards the middle, then step your right foot over the top of the left. Pressing, so your right leg is a little bit bent, but you press that leg into the front of your left thigh, helping your left Achilles to lengthen. And crossing your legs, keep your lower ribs hugging in. Gently untwisting. Now bring your left foot back to the outside, step your right leg to the middle line so it's right in front of your nose. Then step the left foot over the top of your right. Your left leg stays a little bit bent, but you can press it against the front of the right thigh, helping the right thigh to lengthen. And gently coming back into your downward dog. Lift your right leg up very gently, parallel, and bend your knee. Bring it into the chest. Step your foot forward. Now drop the left knee down. Walk your hands to the top of your right knee. Hopefully this position already feels quite open because of the stretch we did before. From here, lift both your arms. Sink your hips down lower. Now dive your arms down. Place them on your lower back. Now again, we're in a very gentle class, so take this very, very easily. Press your hands down on your lower back and open your chest. You can drop your head down if it feels good. Take it super gently here, super easy. If it's too much at any point, just back off or stay with your torso upright. Gently moving back up. Bring your hands to prayer. Twist your torso over to the right. Place the left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Again here, take it super gently. If anything hurts, back off. Very gentle, easy twist, leaning on the left knee. Gently untwisting. Place your hands back on top of your knee now. Straighten the left thigh. From here, drape your torso down on top of your right thigh. Place your hands next to your foot. Step your foot back into plank. Your choice with long legs or with your knees down. Chaturanga into a cobra or up dog. And bring yourself back up into a plank and push yourself back into downward dog. Now step your right foot into the center line and see if you can wrap the left leg all the way around, just like we did before in eagle. Take it very easy. It's just an experiment. Your right leg doesn't have to straighten all the way. And then gently let it go. Step the left leg into the center line. See if you can wrap your right leg very high around the left and wrap it all the way around. And once your toe is wrapped, then start to straighten through the left knee. Gently uncurling, bringing both feet back to hip width distance. Now lifting your left foot parallel, pointing through the toe, pulling the knee into the chest, roll forward. Step the foot between the hands, drop your right knee down, walk your hands onto your left knee. Make sure your left shin is perpendicular to the floor, sinking your hips forward and down. Now lift your arms up. And then swim them back behind you. Bring them to your lower back. Really lean the weight of the hands, the weight of the arms into the lower back. And lift your torso, your chest bone, your ribcage up and away. Drop your torso back. Drop your head back if it feels right. Again, super gentle here. If it's too much, just back off or stay upright. Gently rolling the torso back up. Bring your hands to prayer in front of your chest. Twist over to the left side. Place the outside of the right elbow on top of the left knee. Very gentle twist here. Keeping the right knee down. From here, gently untwisting. Now draping your torso on top of your left thigh. With your hands and fingers spread wide. Lengthen the right knee. Step the right foot back into plank. Come down to chaturanga. Cobra or up dog, your choice. Into a downward facing dog. From here, looking up at your hands, you can step or jump all the way back forward. Coming halfway up. Draping your torso down. Now grab your right ankle from behind and shift your right foot a little bit forward. So your right foot, the back of your right heel is in line with the top of your left big toe. Bending the left knee. You can flex your right foot. Drop your head. If it helps you, you can grab the ball of the right foot with your right hand. Dropping your head down. From there, release that right foot and change your feet. Stepping the right foot back, bring the left foot forward. Again, back of the heel in line with the top of your right toe. Bending deeper into the right knee. And you can flex that left foot and grab it with the left hand. And if it's too intense for you, if it's hard for you to grab the foot, you can very micro bend the left knee, very small bend. So your right knee is bending deeply to bring your hips down. Your left knee can bend just slightly. Gently releasing. Step your feet back next to each other. Now bending both your knees. Drape your belly over your legs. Lifting both your feet to step on top of your hand palms. If you can, stepping your toes all the way into your wrists, into the crease of your wrist. You can keep your knees bent here. Slowly starting to work towards straightening the knees. Keeping your belly and your upper thighs connected, lifting your sit bones up to the ceiling. Lengthen the top of your head, back of your neck, down to the floor. And if your legs don't straighten all the way, it's completely fine. It doesn't matter. Gently step off your hands. Bend your knees deeply, round up all the way. Standing at the top of your mat in a strong mountain pose. Sliding your shoulder blades down the back, lengthening the back of your neck, soften your jaw. Now shift the weight into the left foot. Bring the right foot into a very simple tree on the inside of your left thigh. You can bring your hands to prayer. Let the whole weight of the right foot sink into the inner left thigh. The left thigh and right foot are softening into each other. Letting your knee fall open. Floating your ribcage up and away from the hips. And floating the back of your skull up. Feeling as if there's two strings attached to the tops of your ears. Lifting your head, the back of your head. As your chin drops ever so slightly down. Sternum is reaching up. From here, start to move your arms up towards the sky. Separate the hands, look up at your fingertips to test your balance. Lifting up with the chest. Bring your hands back together, gently slide your hands back to the middle of your chest. And super gently, easily stepping your right foot back down. Shift the weight into that foot. Bring your left foot up, grab the left ankle. Position your foot on your inner right thigh. Bring your hands to prayer, softening your inner right thigh into the foot, softening the foot into the thigh, dropping the whole weight of the leg, the whole weight of the left leg down through the right leg into the floor, lengthening the back of your neck, sliding your shoulder blades down your back, lift up your rib cage, sink your pelvis, so a lot of space between your ribs and your hips, soft jaw. From here, bring your arms up overhead, separate the palms, and then you can look up at your fingertips to test your balance. Reach your sternum up to the sky. Bring your palms back together, slide them back down to your chest. One last moment of rooting down through all the four corners of your right foot. Again, that sensation that two strings are pulling the tops of your ears up to the ceiling. And gently step your left foot back down. Bow your head. And start to round yourself all the way down, down, down. Slowly bringing your hands down. All the way till you reach your forward fold. From there, deeply bending your knees. Sitting in your little ball for a moment. Then let's come to lying on our backs. Take a block nearby so you can easily reach it with your hands. Let's start with a little hip stretch. So bring your right ankle across your left knee and let your right knee fall open. Then lift your left foot. Reach your hands. So one hand is going through the gap and the left hand is on the outside of the left foot. Start to pull your left knee closer, stretching the outer right hip. You can place your right elbow just on the inside of the right thigh to increase the stretch here. Take it very gently. Super slowly pulling your left knee closer, stretching the outside of the right hip. It's very easy. You can interlace the fingers closer together so you can bring your hands into a fist behind your knee. This way your knee comes automatically a bit closer. Just softening everything down. Make sure you pull from your elbows so your shoulders are released into the floor. They're really soft. They don't need to work here. The whole pull can come from your elbows. You're pulling your elbows down towards the back of your mat. So you're pulling your elbows down towards your foot, actually, your left foot. Diagonally forward and down with the elbows, while the shoulders stay soft and relaxed. From here, release. Keep your right foot close to you. Take your strap, wrap it around the ball of your right foot. Now bring that foot parallel. So your right knee is bent. You're holding your strap close, as close as you can to the foot, and then you drop your shoulders down. So your fingers are doing all the work here of holding onto the strap. And as soon as you're in the right position, you drop your shoulders down and you let your whole arms hang. Your right knee is still bent. Now start to slide your left leg down along the floor. If it's too much for you, you can keep the left knee bent. Right knee is still bent. Shoulders are releasing, and from here, with your right thigh connected to the torso, slightly, very gently start to straighten through the right knee. It doesn't have to straighten all the way. Flex your right foot actively. Keep releasing your shoulders down into the floor. Maybe the leg shakes a little bit, that's okay. I'll work towards gently straightening the knee. You can do a bit of stretching and bending, straightening and bending, getting used to the sensation of the straight right leg. If it's too intense, slide your hands a little bit lower down the strap. And then gently let it go. Let go of the strap, bend your leg, wrap the knee. Just like we did in the beginning of the class, see if you can release the whole hip joint on the inside. Release it and let the hands do the work. Let the hands take the weight of the leg. And the weight of the hands lets the leg gently come down closer to the chest. Keep releasing the inner thigh, inside the hip, the outside of the hip. Notice if there's any difference in this position from the beginning of the class when we did the same. See if you can keep both your shoulders relaxed into the floor. From here, take your block close to you. Place it on the highest end with the longer side, so with the shorter side towards your side, and then place it somewhere along your right thigh. So it's a little bit searching here for the right position, but finding a way where you bring your right thigh to the side. You can lean into the block. Maybe the block has to go on a diagonal. Actually, from here, so you're leaning the top of your thigh somewhere into the block. And then flex the right foot. Grab the outside of the right foot and start to bring that foot closer to you. Your thigh is still bent. Your knee is still bent. It's a bit tricky here with the block, but the idea is that you bring your leg to the side into a sort of happy baby stretch. One-sided happy baby stretch. Leaning on top of a block. So it's supported. Your left hip stays long and flat on the floor. And from here, you can work towards straightening your knee very gently. Your leg is fully supported. by the block. If you have to shift the position of the block for the stretch to work, go for that. You can also experiment with taking the foot into the left hand instead of in the right. Whatever works for you here. See if you can find a way to really lean the leg into the block. So you're not holding on to your hip muscles. You're letting your leg fall down into the block. And maybe as you progress, the block can come more and more down the leg. Now it can come to the shin somewhere. Experimenting with deeply stretching this leg to the side in a very gentle and supported way. Gently bring your foot back in. Bring your knee back in, so you're pulling your knee towards you. Pulling that knee. Make sure it doesn't clash with your rib cage, so you can pull it a little bit to the right side, on the outside of the rib cage towards the right shoulder. From here, start to pull your knee towards the left. Coming into a supine twist. Trying to keep your right shoulder on the floor. You can support the right knee with a block here, if it feels good to you. It's quite nice, so you can really let the weight drop down, dropping your right knee onto a block, twisting your head over to the right, sinking the right shoulder towards the floor. Now start to bend your left knee. Reach down with your right hand for your left top of your foot. And then you can roll your head over to the left, straighten the right leg. Bring the right ball of your foot towards your hand. You can start with a bent right knee. And in fact, you can stay with a bent right knee if it's enough here. So you're grabbing the top of your right foot with your right hand. Sorry, with your left hand, you're grabbing the ball of your right foot. And with your right hand, you're grabbing the top of your left foot. From here, if it's easy, you can start to straighten through the right knee. Then twisting back over to the right with your head. Relaxing. And gently release. Bring your right knee back into the chest one last time. And lengthening your right leg down. Take a moment lying in Shavasana, seeing If there's any differences between the sides. And bend your right knee, step your right foot on the floor, close to the hip. Bring your left ankle across your right knee. And then stick your hands on either side of your right knee so the left hand comes through the gap. Bring your right knee up towards you and start to pull your knee with your both hands towards you. Your left elbow can be on the inside of your left thigh to help guide your knee more down. And again, we're bending the elbows towards the right foot. So the elbow bends forward and down. The shoulders are very soft and relaxed on the floor. The jaw is soft and we're taking it super slowly, super easily. Very slowly inching the right knee closer and closer to the chest. If you'd like to increase, you can come up and slide your arms a little bit further in. Interlace your fingers, make a fist between your fingers so you grab a little bit closer, drop your head back down. Keep sliding your shoulders down. Keep releasing your left hip. Breathing into any tight spots. From here, releasing your right leg back down. Keep your left foot close. Find your strap. Wrap it around the ball of your left foot. Then turn your left leg parallel, bent. Flexing the left foot. Grab your strap quite close to the foot. And then just use the fingers to hold on to the strap and drop your shoulders down into the floor. Your left leg's parallel, slightly bent. Your right knee slides down. Gently lay your right leg down. Flattening the right hip. And if it's too intense for you to straighten that right leg down, just keep it bent. It's okay. From here, releasing your shoulders into the floor. Flex your left foot and gently start to straighten the left leg. If it's too intense for the hamstring, gently walk your hands a bit down the strap. And take it super slowly, super easily. Keep releasing into the right hip. Softening as much as possible the left thigh. Keeping the shoulders soft. And you can move between bending and straightening, very soft and gentle. Using only minimum tension, only the effort that's needed to hold onto the strap. Anything else, just drop it down into the shoulders. And gently let go. Bend your left knee, drop your strap away. Pull the left knee in close towards your chest. Softening into the left hip. Releasing any tension there. Let the weight of the hands fall down into the leg. The hands are doing all the work. The leg doesn't need to hold on to anything. And the knee can gently slide a little bit out to the side, coming towards the left shoulder. From here, bring your block close to your left knee. Start to drop your left knee a little bit out to the side, but not so far that you start to roll to the side. So your left hip stays on the floor. Again, a little bit searching for the right position of the block. Then kick your foot out and start to grab the outside of the left foot with your left hand. So you're moving into a half happy baby pose here, and then you can adjust the placement of the block to somewhere where you can release the whole weight of the leg into the block. Your left knee can still be bent. Try and use minimum effort with your left arm, and if your arm gets tired, you can always switch hands. See how that works. Take the right hand on the ball of the left foot. Really changes the stretch. And as you stretch deeper, maybe you can start to move the block a little bit down the leg on the side, on the outside of the knee, or just below the knee. Finding a place where the leg can really lean into the block so you can release your inner thigh. Here, the inner thigh can be soft. And then you can start working towards straightening that left leg. Only as far as you can do it without cramping, without stressing out. Make it super easy, super gentle. The outside of the right hip stays soft, so you're not pushing with your right leg down into the floor to keep the balance. Keep experimenting just a little bit longer. And from there, very gently bend your knee back in. Then your block over to your right side. Bring your knee back in towards your chest, and then start to bring it over to the right, very slowly, very gently, releasing your pelvis, uncurling the tail. Rolling over to the right side. Here you can place the block underneath your left leg, underneath your left knee. Rolling your torso open to the left, facing your left hand with your face. Releasing the knee down into the block. And take your time to soften into the left hip. Deep twist here, deep release for the outside of the left hip. From here, start to bend your right knee and bring your left arm down towards the top of your right foot. So you can grab your right foot with the left hand and roll your torso over to the right. Remove the block. Start sliding your left knee up. See if you can grab the ball of your left foot with your right hand. And you can keep the legs bent here. This is enough for you. Or you can start to straighten through the left knee and twist your torso back over to the left side. Looking over to the left. Working towards straightening the left knee only as far as you can without tension, without tensing the muscles, without stressing. Very gentle. Gently release. Lengthen your right leg down. Bring your left knee back up towards your chest, up towards the left shoulder. Pull it really close to you. Keeping your shoulder blades soft. And then release the left leg down. Lay in your Shavasana just for a moment. Feeling all that oxygen-rich blood flowing into the left hip. And take your block. Bend both your knees. Start to tuck your pelvis up and roll your back up into a bridge. From here, take your block underneath your pelvis. You can use the highest and come into supported bridge pose. Lengthening the back of your neck. You can roll your shoulders together and clasp your hands, opening your chest. Letting your pelvis rest on top of the block. Unclasping your hands, sinking your shoulders back down. Take another moment here to really release your pelvis into the top of your block. See if you can relax your butt muscles, your belly muscles, your shoulders, your upper thighs. And gently push your pelvis up, release the block. Roll your hips back down. Take your both knees towards the chest. And then start to roll yourself all the way up. Rolling your knees over your head. You can support your lower back with your hands, keeping your legs long. Now lift your left foot, cross it behind the right, and see if you can Do that same eagle pose. So the right leg is on top, the left leg is behind. Eagle posing. Seeing if you can straighten through the left knee. Gently release and change sides. The right leg goes over on top of the left. The left leg wraps all the way around the right. Bring the left knee close to the forehead. Seeing if you can release your shoulders here. And gently unwrap. Bend your knees deeply, bring them next to your ears. Maybe walking your hands all the way up to your ankles. Pulling your knees next to your ears. On top of your shoulders. From here, grab the outsides of your feet. Start to roll your pelvis down. Slowly, slowly keep holding on to the outsides of your feet, bending your knees down more. Rolling your pelvis all the way down to the floor. Now you're in full happy baby. You can gently shift the weight side to side, roll your head side to side, releasing your inner thighs, softening the jaw. From here, bend your knees more. One more time, pulling your knees in towards the chest. And then roll yourself up in a few rolls, holding onto your knees. Let's do a cobbler pose, and then we'll do a very relaxing open hip, very relaxing open hip shavasana to finish with. So starting with cobbler, sitting on your block. Unless you're super flexible and you don't need a block for this, for me it really helps me. Sitting really on the edge of the block, so the block can tip forward. Dropping the knees down. Finding a place where you can sit on the block in such a way that it kind of propels your whole torso diagonally forward. And this way we can keep the lower back really long. Now you can give a little bit of an opening to the bases of your feet. So as if you're opening a book, opening your feet to the ceiling, allowing your ankles to release, your knees to release, your hips to release, softening your inner thighs. From here, if you would like to increase the stretch, you can hold onto your ankles and really gently push your thighs more down, but be super, super gentle here. Maybe it's enough without. You don't have to push on your thighs. Now making sure your lower back stays long. So we're starting from this very upright diagonal position where the block helps us propel the torso diagonally forward, and then from there we start to bend only the upper back down, So we're aiming to keep the lower back really straight and flat. Stretching the inner thighs, dropping your head. And you can either keep holding onto your ankles or just drop your hands in front of you, dropping your elbows down. If you have a second block, you can place it somewhere underneath your head. Can be quite nice support for the head here. Keep breathing deeply, opening your inner thighs, opening your hips. And you're here gently, gently, slowly rolling up. Take the block away and place it behind you. Now, there's two ways to do it. Let's start by window wiping the legs for a moment. After that collarbones. So we'll come into a supported Shavasana with the legs falling open, which is optional. If it's already intense enough for your hips, you can also just come to Shavasana with your legs long. If you have a yoga strap, we can use it to support the falling open of the legs. So if you have a strap, loop it very wide. So you take the end of the strap through both loops and then you pull it back through one. Then bring the strap around your lower back. Take your feet quite close to you. And then you can start to tighten the strap. So pulling your feet very close, tightening the strap so you have a nice support, and make sure that the strap is low enough on your lower back that it doesn't cut into your flesh there, into the hips. From here, you can use pillows here also to support yourself if you have them nearby. Take 2 blocks, 1 block below your back, so quite close to your hips. Lay back on that block and you can choose which height works best for you here. Maybe the medium height is quite nice. Medium height just below the base of your ribs. And then place your other block underneath your head. Can also be on medium height or on the highest height. Figure out what feels the best for you. And you can drop your arms down next to your sides or bring them on top of your belly or out to the sides, whatever feels good to you. And just relax here. If anything gets too intense, back off. Take it a step lower. If you don't have a strap, you can also use pillows or bolsters here underneath your legs to support them. Releasing to your hips, breathing deeply. Release your jaw. And breathing deeply into your lower ribs. Sinking your whole torso down as you breathe out, releasing the shoulder blades. Releasing the back of your neck. And once you've had enough, you can see if you can release your strap without coming back up. If you're super comfortable in the strap, just stay there. And if you've had enough stretch on your hips for today, you can release the strap, taking your time, taking it easy. That's your choice. You can lengthen your legs and you can keep the blocks underneath your back for a moment longer. Opening your rib cage, opening the back of your neck. Or if you've had enough of the blocks, you can also remove them and just lie flat on your back. Deep, soft breathing, sinking your whole body down into the floor. Releasing your hips, your shoulders, your knees and your ankles and your elbows and your wrists. Sinking everything down, melting. Releasing the tips of your toes and the balls of your feet. And the whole sole of the foot, the heel. Softening the tops of the feet and the inner ankles and the outer ankles and the Achilles tendons. Melting down any tension in the shin bones and the calf muscles. Softening down your knees, the insides of your knees, the backs of your knees, the outsides of your knees, fronts of your knees and the tops of your thighs. Melting your hamstrings and your IT bands and the outsides of your legs, and your inner thighs and your pubic bone, your hip bones, outsides of your hips and your big butt muscles, meaning the butt muscles are some of the biggest muscles in the body, not necessarily meaning you have a big butt. The gluteus maximus, releasing them. Also the piriformis, the smaller muscle underneath the gluteus maximus. The whole lower back and the whole pelvis, the balls of your pelvis. Lower belly. And your middle belly and your middle back and your side body, both sides sinking down, the bases of your ribs, front and back and side, melting into the floor. Your whole front of your rib cage and your sternum and your clavicle bones and the sides of your rib cage and the back of your rib cage, your shoulder blades, the tops of your shoulders and the tops of your arms and your armpits, melting down to the floor, the elbows, the lower arms, the wrists and the backs of your hands are softening down. The palms of your hands and the fingers and all your fingertips releasing. Your whole chest and your heart and your lungs are soft. Your throat and the back of your neck releasing down. Top of your neck and your chin. And your earlobes and your whole ears, the insides of your ears. Your whole jawline and your mouth and your tongue. The whole inside of your mouth and your tongue and your throat. And your cheeks and your cheekbones all hanging down, softening down. The upper lip and the base of your nose. The whole inside of your nose connected to the whole inside of your skull. The inside of your ears, the inside of your mouth. Your eyebrows and your eyelids and your eyeballs floating in your eye sockets. The temples are soft and your forehead is soft. Between the eyebrows is soft. Your whole skin of your face and your whole scalp are hanging down your skull. Soft scalp all the way to the top of your head. Your whole body releasing down into the floor, softening down to the floor. Full of life, full of movement, even when we're lying completely still. Everything is moving. The cells are continually renewing themselves. Oxygen is continually being circulated all around the body. The blood is pumping and the air is moving. The digestive tract is always working, even when we fast. The skin is always noticing what's happening just on the outside. So much movement happening. If you're still lying on blocks, remove them and take a moment simply lying on your back. Feeling the imprint that those blocks left on your body. Allowing your whole body to drink in everything it's learned today. And you can stay here as long as you like. I want to thank you, as always, for joining on the 1st of June. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. I'm back tomorrow and Wednesday, both 8:30 as usual. If you have any requests or things you'd like to ask, things you'd like to practice, you can message me or leave me a comment. If you'd like to support, all the information is in the text below the post. And it's super appreciated still. Your support is very, very, very helpful and I'm very grateful for it. So have a great day, drink a lot of water, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.